Tonight is the start of the final series of the regular season. The Twins are back home and they are hosting the Detroit Tigers for 3 games here at Target Field. Miguel Sano hasn't played since August 19th. He has missed the last 6 weeks, but he took batting practice today, said he felt great, and today the Twins activated Sano from the DL. He's not in the starting lineup, but he is available to the team tonight. Twins baseball on Fox Sports North is presented by State Farm. Good evening from Target Field. I'm Marnie Gellner. Paul Molitor said today, that there is really no downside to activating Sano from the DL, that the Twins would like to give him some at-bats this weekend and look at his timing and his pitch recognition. Sano would be available as a pinch hitter in this game tonight and possibly as a DH tomorrow and or on Sunday. But you cannot deny what this team has done without Sano in the lineup and with Eduardo Escobar playing a very solid third base. This lineup has been one of the top lineups in baseball, in particular this last month without Sano. So it's a delicate balance for the Twins in activating his bat.
We've had a nice flow. Our offense has obviously been really good over the past several weeks, minus Miguel. But you're also talking about a pretty rare bat to have a chance to help you. So it's going to, we're going to have to figure out if there's a fit there and if it's going to make us better.
Sano is available to the Twins tonight, who hope to keep that offense going and supporting Kyle Gibson. We'll look at how he's gearing up for tonight and beyond after this.
On Fox Sports North is presented by Toyota. Tested, trusted, Toyota. Toyota, let's go places. By CenturyLink, connecting you to the power of the digital world. By Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, for the everyday competitor in all of us. And by Ram. Go ahead, test our strength now during the Ram Power Days. Target Field has been converted back to a baseball park, and it's the opening game of the final regular season series. The first of three between the Twins and the Tigers. Lefty Matthew Boyd going for the Tigers. Kyle Gibson for the Twins, and the fans here acknowledging the fact that the Twins are headed to the playoffs as the wild card team on Tuesday night. And we welcome you to Target Field. Dick and Bert with you. And Kyle Gibson might be pitching his final game of the season this year. That's not the hope, however. The way things are looking, if the Twins can survive the wild card game on Tuesday, a much improved pitcher would open the series probably against the Indians.
Yeah, I think we all that follow the Twins throughout the summer, we saw that Kyle Gibson got off to a slow start. He was 0-4 in the month of April, but he has really picked it up as of late. Over his last 11 starts, Kyle 7-2, very good earned run average. That's what you want to see out of a starter. What you want to see even better is what he's been able to do over his last 7 starts. 6-0, that's a career high in wins consecutive.
Gibson made a start against the Tigers last weekend in Detroit. He's hoping to have at least one more start later this year on the big stage in the playoffs. The opening game of the final series at Target Field in a moment. Out the regular season, the difference is the Tigers are going home and the Twins are going very probably to New York. There's still an outside chance that the Twins might end up playing the Boston Red Sox on Tuesday. The Yankees won their ball game this afternoon. We do know this: Brad Ausmus is managing his final games for the Detroit Tigers this weekend. The Tigers announced last weekend when we were in Detroit they are not going to bring him back. So Brad Ausmus with his Menards batting order in the Friday night game of the final series. Ian Kinsler followed by Alex Presley, Nick Castellanos, Jamer Candelario, Efren Navarro, James McCann, Andrew Romine, Jacoby Jones, and Dixon Machado.
And on the mound will be Kyle Gibson, 29 years old, making his 29th start, his 6th start this season against the Tigers. And it's back-to-back starts for both these guys here tonight, Boyd and Gibson. In his last start coming in Detroit, he worked 7 very, very good innings and ended up winning his 12th game of the year. He's trying to win his 13th here tonight. That would tie a career high when he won 13 ball games in 2014.
Northland Ford defense, Eddie Rosario standing at about the 8-yard line. Byron Buxton in center, Max Kepler in right. And infield, outfield of Escobar, Adrianza, Dozier, and Vargas. Chris Jimenez behind the plate. How about the grounds crew here at Target Field? With Kenny Vargas giving Joe Mauer a day off. Again here, Mauer will play tomorrow and Sunday. Last Saturday, St. John's and St. Thomas played a football game here, and yeah, you can see the yard markers.
A little different than the old Met when the Vikings played on the same field. There'd be holes out in the outfield, but not on this grass. Great job, like you mentioned, by the ground crew.
One of the biggest challenges was rebuilding the mound. Of course, the mound had to go, had to be taken out and then rebuilt. So Gibson standing on a brand new mound facing Ian Kinsler. And there is strike one. Kinsler, Presley, and Castellanos in the first inning for Detroit.
And Gibson with a fastball. He's really been attacking the strike zone. A hard slider and a changeup.
1-1.
When Kyle is on, he'll get a lot of ground ball outs. 26 double plays turned behind him this year.
Breaking ball for a strike. 1-2. Kinsler reached a plate appearance threshold since we last saw him. He is his vesting option has been met. He'll be back with the Tigers at a certain figure unless they decide to trade him. That ball is going to roll up the line, and Jimenez flicks it away once it crosses the line. Tigers, of course, can still trade Kinsler. I suspect they will. He doesn't seem to be a good fit for a full-blown rebuild, which is what they're going to do now.
Yeah, it depends on who they have at second. You still need to have some veterans on the ball club to kind of help lead the way. And Kinsler, you know, all-star, Gold Glove winner. He's a guy that you know, comes to the ballpark, will play every day if he's healthy. Good career numbers. Not so far this year, hitting at only .236.
1-2 to Ian Kinsler. And he pushes one up the middle for a base hit. Hit it hard. Ball almost stopped before it got to Buxton. And Kinsler has a leadoff single. The objective today for Gibson a little bit different than it was for Irvin Santana yesterday. Twins got 5 good innings from Santana against the Indians, and then they pulled him. But the Twins want Gibson to get an extended outing here today and then hand the ball off to Jose Barrios, who they want available as a relief pitcher for Tuesday's wild card game against either Boston or New York. Here is Alex Presley, and there is strike one.
Presley putting together some pretty good numbers, hitting .323 in his second season with the Tigers. Was with the Twins in 2013.
Swing and a miss on 2.
Good change up there.
Presley's done well against the Twins and everybody else, and he's already distinguished himself first with the Twins and now against them. He's as dangerous with 2 strikes on him as he is with a fresh count.
The Twins got him from the Pirates in 2013. Also spent time with the Astros, Brewers, now here in Detroit.
And a high drive right center field. Kepler back, and that ball's high off the wall. Kinsler being waved around third. He'll score. Presley stopped. He'll go to third, and the Tigers lead 1-0. We were talking about Presley still has picked up against the Twins again this year. A lot of hits with 2 strikes.
You got to keep the ball down if you're a sinker ball pitcher, and he left that pitch up, and Presley hit it off that wall. His 3rd triple of the year.
It was a changeup.
Yep.
And it went about halfway up the wall.
Presley picking up an RBI on that 3rd triple, his 18th run batted in.
And now Nick Castellanos. Twins have a pull shift on for Castellanos. Vargas, the only infielder on the right side. They're playing the infield back. They'll concede another run here. Strike on the outside corner. Castellanos with 99 runs batted in. And he would be the first homegrown Tiger with 100 runs batted in since Bobby Higginson. They've had Cabrera do it and some others, but In terms of a player the Tigers drafted and developed, driving in 100, it's been a while.
And there's 9 guys in the American League that have driven in 100 or more runs, so he would be number 10 if he was able to do that.
Twins won't have anyone unless Brian Dozier really gets hot this weekend and drives in 10 runs. 2 strikes to Castellanos. Up and away. We've looked at various times about Gibson's last 7 starts and at least 6 innings in the last 7, and they've all been quality starts except the one 2 starts ago against Toronto. That one kind of stands out, and you might think, well, 5 earned runs, 6 innings, he didn't pitch very well. He actually did. The Blue Jays jumped on him in the first inning. He had problems throwing strikes, and he came within a batter of being taken out in the first inning, but then something clicked. He gave up 4 in the first, 1 in the second, and then he got into a groove. So in some respects, that start maybe even more impressive than some of the others. 2-2.
Needs a strikeout here.
Inside 3-2.
Castellanos against Gibson, just 5 hits and 30 at bats, and he has struck out 10 times. 167 batting average. Castellanos has struck out 139 times and 603 at bats.
Drill to left, and it's 3-0. Halfway up the seats and left, and single, triple, double. Not the way Gibson wanted his night to start.
Already too many changeups that are right down the heart of the plate. Looked like another changeup, and Castellanos hitting his 26th home run, now has 101 RBIs on the year. So just like that, 3 batters into this ball game, Tigers have a 3-0 lead. So another changeup that stayed high. Castellanos waited back nicely into the seats in left field.
3-0, still nobody out. Jeimer Candelario will bat next. Tigers won last night, breaking a 9-game losing streak. And as unrecognizable as they might be compared to Detroit teams in the last few years, they had to have been stung when the Twins went to Detroit and swept a 4-game series.
You see Castellanos getting hugs and high fives from his teammates for going over the 100 RBI level.
One and one to Candelario. And a strike.
Candelario, he's new to the Tigers. Putting him over at third base, see how he reacts there. Traded over from the Cubs earlier this year.
30 hits, 84 at bats so far, and a foul ball. Last weekend, during the 4-game sweep the Twins enjoyed over the Tigers, it wasn't just the Twins winning, it was the Angels losing, and everybody else that was in that cluster of teams trying to catch the Twins. They all were losing while the Twins were winning. There's a called third strike, 1 down.
And a better fastball right there. So maybe trying to fool him a little bit too much early on. Let's see if Kyle can settle down and trust that fastball, his first strikeout. Good fastball inside, good extension, good follow through. And the first out of the inning.
And now Efrain Navarro playing at first base for Miguel Cabrera. Cabrera will be shut down. He injured his back, re-injured it to be more accurate, against the Twins early last weekend. Came out of the ball game and never returned, and was later diagnosed with 2 herniated discs. And so the prudent thing, of course, is to just try to let his lower back quiet down and then go through some treatment and conditioning in the hopes that Cabrera will be healthier next year. He never really was healthy at all this year. He chose to play with a bad back. And if you've ever had a bad back, and I have, it's awful.
Well, it gives Navarro an opportunity, a September call-up by the Tigers. Has some major league time with the Angels for 4 different seasons, up and down.
Missing inside, 2-1. 2 runs batted in on 2 home runs, and he hit them both in 1 ball game against the Twins last weekend. A foul ball. Quick start for the Tigers. A single, a triple, a home run from the first 3 batters. Paul Molitor moving third baseman Eduardo Escobar to the right side of the infield.
You can already see 23 pitches for Kyle. Over this 7-game period where he went 6-0, he averaged 14 pitches an inning.
It's a fair ball. Vargas picks it up and goes to the bag. 2 down. Twins are going to start Aaron Slegers tomorrow and Bartolo Colon likely on Sunday. And then Irvin Santana will start Tuesday at either Fenway Park or Yankee Stadium. And then if the Twins survive that game, it looks as if Gibson would be the game 1 starter in the ALDS.
There's Slegers right there, getting the opportunity to get another start.
Still a chance that the Astros could be the Twins' opponent in the ALDS rather than the Indians. Indians have essentially a 2-game lead over the Astros in that best record in the American League category. And the Indians are leading the White Sox 7-0 early. Houston's leading Boston 3-0 midway. Swing and a miss, 0-2. Last night or yesterday, the Indians picked up their 100th win. The Astros looking for win number 100 tonight. Down and away and a tapper foul. Oh, 2. Gil Sano back on the active roster.
Right to his left there was Trevor May.
That's down the right field line on a long run for Kepler, but it's back in the seats.
Trevor May, of course, recovering from the Tommy John surgery.
And Sano with a hint of a smile on his face. Took early batting practice. We expect to see him later tonight as a pinch hitter. There was some thought, speculation, that he might actually be the designated hitter tonight, but Paul Molitor decided to at best give him 1 at bat tonight. He may DH tomorrow. And Jimenez can't quite hang on.
Well, one thing Sano did, he took a lot of extra batting practice here this afternoon, and I think, you know, in front of Paul Molitor and the coaching staff, and they wanted to see that he was healthy. So with that extra batting practice, you know, get him an at bat maybe later in the ball game, and then they'll decide from there. Pitch number 30.
And it's the final pitch of the inning. The Tigers jump on Kyle Gibson, a single, a triple, a home run, and it's quickly 3-0 Detroit. Still wanting to take care of business. Right now his Twins team has as many wins as they had 2 years ago in his first year as manager, 83. Here's the Menards batting order for the Twins. Down 3-0 early. Brian Dozier, Eduardo Escobar, Byron Buxton, Eddie Rosario, Robbie Grossman, Kenny Vargas, Max Kepler, Chris Jimenez, and A-Ray Adrianza.
And for the 6th time this year, the Twins lineup will look at left-handed pitcher Matthew Boyd, 26 years old. He's had a lot of success against the Twins. And currently, over his last 5 starts, a 1-2 record, but an ERA at 1.99. 2 starts ago, he was 1 out away from pitching a no-hitter.
Tigers in the field have Andrew Romine in left, Jacoby Jones in center, and Castellanos in right. Candelario, Machado, Kinsler, Navarro, the infielders, and James McCann behind the plate. Castellanos, of course, was a third baseman. The Tigers, in their lost season, are converting him to right field. Brian Dozier takes a strike.
Boyd, like Gibson, making back-to-back starts against the Twins. He worked 6 2/3 innings, gave up only 1 earned run, 2 runs, got a no decision.
Down the right field line and a fair ball. It'll roll slowly into the corner. Dozier to second. Dozier wants 3 and he'll get it. Oh, he fell down and he got back safely. Dozier is up smiling. He had a triple, but spun out between second and third.
Somewhere there's a sniper. It got Brian Dozier. And that's what they're saying on the bench right now. I'm sure they're screaming out, "Sniper!" And this is what we've seen Brian do. Take a lot of pitches the other way. Gets into that corner here at target field. He's going for 3. He's going for 3. Where'd that sniper get him? Right there. Just as he rounded the bag. And then dove back in.
Thought he might do what Ben Revere did a few years ago here. Remember when Ben did a somersault and went on to third base?
Double for Brian, his 29th of the year.
Fans applauding the replay up on the video board. And now here's Eduardo Escobar. And he chases a high fastball, 1 strike.
Watch when he rounds the bag right there. Whoops, there it goes. He's almost laughing there. Oh my goodness, now I have to get back. And he dives back in safely.
You know, one of the reasons Boyd has had great success against the Twins. Twins have been guilty of trying to pull him, and now right away in the first at bat, Dozier hits one down the right field line. We'll see if that's the plan of attack here against Boyd.
Well, he's not going to blow you away with a fastball, but he changes speeds.
There's another one. Escobar goes to the opposite field, and now he wants to. Castellanos' throw not on time, and the Twins start the ball game with a pair of opposite field doubles.
Both balls hit around the same spot. Escobar, his 16th double of the year, driving in his 71st run. So fastball down, of course, for Escobar. He loves it down there. Slices it down that right field line. And Castellanos showing a good strong arm, but Escobar getting in. So a 3-1 ball game.
Left-hander on the mound. That means Byron Buxton can be moved up to third in the batting order. We've talked at length about the mid-season improvement for Kyle Gibson, and on the hitting side, I guess that's exactly what Buxton did. He turned things around, certainly his season, maybe even his career, about the same time Gibson did.
Well, Byron hasn't figured out Boyd yet. He is 0 for 15 against him.
1-0. Bouncer. That's a fair ball. And Buxton is retired on a 2-hopper right over the third base bag. A chance for Escobar to advance. That'll bring up Rosario.
Yeah, Candelario playing the line pretty much for Buxton. And that ball hugged the line. See it hit the chalk right there and then over the bag. Will Little, the third base umpire, calling it fair. Buxton gets thrown out at first.
Lario was lucky he was able to get a grip on that baseball. Like that was ready to rattle out of that glove. Here's Rosario. Breaking ball, and Rosario got a piece.
Rosario's handled left-handers well this year, hitting .281 against left-handers.
Down and in, and it's 1-1.
And against Boyd, he's 5 hits in 19 at-bats.
Up until recently, there was a big drop-off in power for Rosario against lefties, but now he's hit a couple of homers against lefties in recent weeks. See Rosario on his helmet. We've seen script, on the caps with appeals for aid to Puerto Rico. 2-1 to Eddie Rosario. Chopper foul. The one thing that has been evident with Rosario, you saw it in the WBC in March, and now we're seeing it in the second half this year. You get the sense he's a player, the type of player that really enjoys the big stage. If you're going to play this game and you're going to play playoff baseball, there's going to be a lot of attention paid to you. Some guys can handle it better than others. Rosario looks to me like the type of guy that's just fine with that. The bigger the moment, the more focus. High pop up, and that'll be back in the seat. We were telling the story about the Twins entering the playoffs in 1987, and a reporter asking Gary Gaetti how in the world the Twins could possibly upset the heavily favored Detroit Tigers, and he said, well, somebody's going to have to lead the team and show the way and
step up.
Right. And well, the reporter asked, well, who can do that? And Gary walked away with a kind of a sneer in his voice. Well, who do you think? And then it was Gaetti who hit the home runs in his first 2 at bats. Someone is going to need to do that for the Twins. Somebody's going to need to first have a big game on Tuesday against the Yankees. Could be the starting pitcher, could be somebody in the middle of the lineup like Rosario. Full count to Rosario with Grossman on deck. And he fought it off, stayed alive.
He could have some ugly swings from time to time, but he's one of these hitters, and I've said Tony Oliva with him, Vladimir Guerrero, guys that seem to have sometimes ugly swings, but the barrel of a bat is always near the baseball. Picture the base hit he got off of Miller in Cleveland. The ball is about on his shoulders, and somehow he turned on it and got a base hit to right field. Eight pitches already in this at bat, and Boyd changes speeds well. Very good changeup, slow curveball. He'll throw a little cutter like a slider, and then the fastball.
High fastball got him. Went upstairs to get the strikeout, 2 down.
Boyd picking up his first strikeout. So he kind of went up high because Rosario, he doesn't walk much. He's up there swinging. And this fastball kind of tied him up a little bit right there. Wasn't able to get a piece of it to foul it off.
I'll bring up Robbie Grossman. All the buzz today surrounding Miguel Sano. And any at bat that Sano might get if he is added to the playoff roster would probably come at the expense of Grossman. It is highly unlikely, I would think, that Sano will see any time at third base, so he would be the DH, and that's a job that Grossman's filled very admirably this year, the principal designated hitter. And since his thumb injury, just what, a couple innings, I think, in the outfield for Grossman. So that's what the Twins will have to weigh. What are the benefits of having Sano on the team to pinch hit or DH? And what would they sacrifice if they DH'd him at the expense of Grossman? 1-1. Delayed strike call, and it's 1-2.
Yeah, Jeff Kellogg, the crew chief here, calling balls and strikes. They change umpires.
Stu Surewater.
Oh, okay.
And I'm not sure why. Grossman takes up and away. Grossman doesn't have enough plate appearances, but if he did, he'd be in the top 15 in the league in on base percentage at .366. 2-2. And a drive to left center field, chased by Romine, but he's there to make the catch right at the goal line. Couple of doubles for the Twins to start their first inning. Brian Dozier looked like he was headed for a triple, but he held up with a double and then scored on Escobar. Double.
With our car scoop from the clubhouse, Paul Molitor talked about the balance of this weekend series, saying that the Twins are going to compete and try to win these games. That never changes. He wants the team, though, to keep playing with an edge, even though he's going to back off a couple of guys, give them some rest. But Molitor said we want them to keep playing in the flow that they've been in lately. Molitor also said Aaron Slegers will start tomorrow, and he is leaning towards Bartolo Colon starting the game on Sunday. And there's also a good chance, Molitor said, that we would see Jose Barrios out of the bullpen tonight because he could be used as a reliever on Tuesday in the wild card game, or who knows beyond that, Dickenberg.
All right, thank you, Marnie. Outside to Romine now. It's 2-0. Pretty good chance we will see Romine make some baseball history. If not tomorrow, then on Sunday. Brad Ausmus said again today that he wants Romine to play 1 inning at 9 different positions. The original plan would be for Romine to do it on Sunday, but the weather forecast is a little iffy on Sunday. So they may try to pull that off tomorrow. 3-1.
I just wonder what he would do. Would he start? I mean, you got to get on the mound eventually. Would it where he faces one hitter, or does he pitch a whole inning? Does he start the ball game? I think when Cesar Tovar did it.
Romine drops a single in front of Rosario.
Just slapping that high pitch the other way. Romine picks up a base hit. I believe he started
on the mound.
Ball game, yes, right. On the mound.
The last player to do it was another Tiger who wore number 17, Shane Halter, and he did it against the Twins on the last day of the season at Comerica Park. And to me, the whole thing just seems nonsensical because I don't know what the point is. You know, if you do it at home, you might get a handful of people buying tickets who want to see the novelty of a game like that, but I don't think anybody in Minnesota cares one way or another where Andrew Romine will play tomorrow or Sunday. Here's Jacoby Jones. And there is ball 1, 1-1.
A fastball away for strike one, then the slider from Gibson.
There's a swing and a miss on a slider.
We talked about Jones a little bit in Detroit. This young man right here getting some major league playing time. Tremendous speed, very good outfielder, but can he hit at this level? That's the question. Got a little bit of a taste of the big leagues last year. Now late in the season, getting to play every day.
2-2.
He comes into this at bat hitting just 159. Kind of saw that with Buxton when he first came up. You know, they need the at bats. They need to see what they have.
Kind of where the Tigers were with Mikey Matuk too. They got some early encouragement that Matuk would be able to hit, but then he re-injured a groin injury against the Twins last weekend. He's done for the year.
Yeah, he's here with the team, but unable to play.
Right. 2-2. And he hit him. And Jones will go to first. First and second, nobody out.
I think not only hit Jones, I think I got Jimenez too. So Gibson off to a shaky start here tonight. That hit batsman his 6th of the year. Ricocheted off Jones and then into Jimenez.
First inning started with a single, a triple, and a home run. Now a single and a hit batter. And you mentioned Jones's batting average 159. He's not the type of guy you want to hit. Here's Dixon Machado. Might be asked to bunt here. Fastball. Strike one.
Jose Iglesias is a normal shortstop. Machado getting an opportunity to play. He's a utility player that can play a lot of different positions.
Off the end of the bat. That's going to spin fair. Hit the bag. And Vargas will barehand it. That was foul until right before the bag, and with the spin on it, it came back into fair territory, and Twins are lucky that ball popped right up to Vargas after hitting the bag.
Kind of a swinging bunt right there, more or less. Did what he was trying to do, advance the runners, and so you see the spin of that ball. Now, once it hit the bag right into Vargas's big paws. And the force out at first, but both runners advance.
Kinsler pushed a 2-strike pitch up the middle for a base hit. Then Presley followed with a triple. Castellanos with a home run, and the Tigers were on their way. Vargas again, the only infielder on the right side. The other infielders are playing back. Ball 1.
Kinsler in his 12th major league season, his 4th with the Tigers.
And now 2-0.
Spent 8 seasons with the Texas Rangers. It's always been a very good leadoff hitter. Showed you his numbers in his first at bat, a .273 career hitter with some power.
Swing on a foul tip, 2-1. Tigers with 63 wins, 96 losses. They are 1 game worse than the Phillies and 1 game better than the Giants. Two and 1. Half swing, but he went 2-2. Of course, the team with the worst record will have the first overall pick in the draft. But little I know about it, there's not a Steven Strasburg or Bryce Harper in next year's draft either. The Twins had the #1 overall pick this year. Seem to have picked a very solid pick in Royce Lewis, who had a good start in his professional career. 2-2. 3-2 with Presley on deck. Reached back for a fastball and struck him out. 2 down.
And the third strikeout for Gibson, and it's a good one right there with runners at second and third and 1 out. He had a couple strikeouts in the first inning. Good fastball, good location, straight over the top with that 6'6" frame.
I would think pitches like that would help boost your confidence. We haven't seen Kyle get many swings and misses with a fastball, but he put that one in a really good spot. You usually see his swings and misses be on breaking balls or changeups. Here's Presley. Hit a triple off the fence in right field his first time up. Now ground ball, Dozier. Great catch going to his left. Throws him out.
What a great play.
What a play by Brian Dozier. The Tigers threaten but don't score thanks to the Twins second baseman. You're watching Twins baseball presented by State Farm. 3-1 game, and tonight's Cold Hard Facts brought to you by the Silver Bullet. Clean, crisp Coors Light, and the Twins have enjoyed hitting against the Tiger pitching staff. They've won 5 in a row, averaging 9 runs a game, and they pitch pretty well against the Tigers as well. No wonder that they have had some recent success.
Well, again, the Tigers are missing some of their key players offensively, but I want to say one thing about Brian Dozier. I tell you what, I know there's a lot of good second basemen, but that play right there, we've seen Brian do that all summer long. Make some great plays, and hopefully his name will be on that list for the Gold Glove.
Kenny Vargas with a 1-1 count.
Wouldn't it be nice if he and Joe Mauer both won that glove?
Candelario makes the catch on the first hop, fires across. Vargas retired, 1 away. That'll bring up Max Kepler. Well, the Tigers have really struggled. They've won 5 games since they traded Justin Verlander. I think Verlander himself has won 5 games for the Astros.
In the month of September, the Tigers are 5-22. But Boyd has pitched well. And for some reason, again, against the Twins, he's had a lot of success.
Kepler takes a strike.
Boyd's making his 55th major league start. His 11th career start against the Twins. He has 5 wins. He has only 13 career wins, and 5 of them against the Twins.
Driven foul, and it's 0-2. Afternoon, the Yankees beat the Blue Jays 4-0, putting a little more pressure on the Red Sox. Red Sox can clinch the American League East if they win tonight, and they can provide some clarity for the Twins, who still aren't sure who they're going to play in the wild card game on Tuesday. It'll be in Yankee Stadium or at Fenway Park. 1-2. And Kepler waits and rolls it foul. Red Sox have a 3-game lead, or 2.5 now, because the Yankees won. But all the Red Sox have to do is win 1 game this weekend. The problem is they're playing the Astros, who are playing awfully good baseball, and Houston has a 3-2 lead in the 6th inning right now. Popped up. And McCann near the Twins on deck circle makes the catch. 2 down.
It's always a tough play for a catcher to go in foul territory near the dugout where that on deck circle is, and everything is laying down on the ground. All the pine tar and bats and weighted bats. McCann stayed with it. See all that stuff right there, and McCann kind of went around it.
Here's Jimenez. A little professional courtesy shown there. Jimenez just got out of the way for the Detroit catcher to make his catch. 1-0. Dribbler foul. 1-1. Missing inside. Twins have 2 hits. They both went to the opposite field. Since then, the Twins have pulled the ball without getting a base hit. Jimenez takes inside, and it's 3-1 with Adrianza on deck.
You know, these 2 pitchers here tonight, Boyd and Gibson, almost went through the same routine. They both started in the rotation of the Twins and the Tigers, as Boyd did, but then got sent down 3 different stints, as Gibson did the same thing, up and down.
Jimenez draws a 2-out walk.
First walk by Boyd.
And now Adrianza will bat.
Gibson throw a lot of, or excuse me, Boyd throws a lot of different pitches, and that went outside. What a turnover, a changeup looked like.
Sometimes when pitchers like Boyd are described, they are described this way. They show you inside but get you out away. And I think we've seen that play out in our Twins telecast with Boyd on the mound. He just showed Adrianza inside, and then it's an assortment of changeups and breaking balls and pitches on the outside corner were just off the outside corner.
You could almost say he pitches backwards a little bit, you know. He will show you inside, he'll come in, but then a lot of times if the count is in your favor, say, you know, 2 balls, 1 strike, he has enough confidence in throwing that changeup or breaking ball over.
And if you're up there in pull mode, you'll play right into his game. What we saw in the first 2 at bats, both Brian Dozier and Eduardo Escobar dumping extra base hits down the right field line. This ball hit to left and deep and still in play. Gene Glenn thinks it's a home run, and we might have a crew chief review here. The fans in left reacted like that ball left the ballpark.
Yeah, the fans in left kind of moving their fingers around over their head like it's a home run. It might have hit the flower bed and then bounced back into play. So we'll take a look at the flight of the ball.
No.
Ooh, right off the top.
Unless it hit the fence afterward. But no, it looked like it hit the corner of the padding.
And then came back into play.
And it did. So it will, Paul Molitor asking for a crew chief review, and so they're going to look at it and they're going to see, well, we just showed you that ball did not leave the ballpark. So I'm going to go ahead and put double.
You know, those pads right behind the pads are a little bit of a cement base wall. Yeah, it looked like right off the top of the pad. It could have went the other way, but instead it bounced back.
Yeah, it's not a game of inches, it's a game of fraction of inches. Yeah. If that's a quarter inch longer, it hits the top of the padding and goes into the concrete, the flowers, the railing. So this is not a challenge. This is a crew chief review. They want to make sure, and they will position the runners at second and third.
And with Jeff Kellogg not here, Tim Timmons at second base becomes the crew chief. Jeff Kellogg was the crew chief, but not here.
So it's not a tie ball game, and Dozier will have to tie it with a base hit to the outfield here. He almost had a triple and settled for a double. Number 9 batter gets the 3rd double of the ball game for the Twins.
Well, you could almost give him a double and a half because he kind of had that sniper got him. All he needs a base hit right here.
And Dozier takes outside, ball 1.
Ryan has 12 hits and 28 at bats now against Boyd, with a couple home runs.
There's one over, 1-1. Swing and a miss. On a pitch off the plate outside.
Yeah, that's that changeup. It's almost like a screwball. You almost saw in that delivery how he kind of rotates that left hand almost internal, just kind of turns it over. So a couple breaking balls, then the changeup. McCann sitting up with that glove, so maybe they want to go high fastball. You better get it really high because Brian likes high fastballs. Watch McCann behind the plate, creep inside.
Well in off the plate. And again, that's what we were talking about. Showing right-handed batters inside and then trying to get them out outside.
See the Mr. I on the sleeve of the Tiger players for Mr. Ilitch, that passed away earlier this summer, the owner of the Tigers.
2-2. A drive to left. Back and gone. Brian carefully doesn't trip in the same spot between second and third. Home run number 34 at 93 runs batted in now for Brian Dozier.
Oh, they tried to double him up inside with that fastball, and he did not get it in far enough. Boyd did not. And Brian giving the Twins now a 1-run lead. You can see McCann wanting it again inside, but too much of the plate. And there's that short compact swing of Brian Dozier. He knew it. And the Twins have a 4-3 lead.
Pretty good 2-out rally. Jimenez drew a walk. Adrianza nearly hit one out. Dozier did, and it's 4-3. Off the outside corner, ball one.
So again, you go back to the Dozier play behind Gibson to save a couple runs. Now Dozier drives in 3. So he had an impact of this game already in the first 2 innings.
Swing and a miss. Brian finished with 99 runs batted in last year. A couple more 3-run home runs, and he'll have that total again this year. There goes another one off the bat of Escobar. Number 21 for Escobar.
Nice crowd here tonight. Looks like everybody's on their feet congratulating Escobar. So back-to-back home runs by the Twins give a 2-run lead. Every home run a career high for Escobar. They tried to go inside again. He did not get it in far enough. Escobar opened up. And Boyd again making his 6th start. His first 5 starts, the Twins offense were hitting only 198 against him in those 5 games.
They have 5 hits against him in 11 plate appearances, and all 5 hits have been for extra bases. First 3 doubles, now back-to-back home runs. And all of this done here in the 2nd inning after Kepler's foul out the 2nd out of the inning. 5-3 Twins. Here's Buxton. Outside ball 1. Twins now with 204 home runs hit this year, 4 more than last year. Foul back and a good cut, timed it right. 1-1. Foul into the Tiger dugout. 1-2.
Byron now 0 for 16 against Boyd. There are some pitchers that some hitters just have trouble with.
Made a bid for a hit, almost got a hit with a ground ball behind the third base bag. Candelario made a nice play.
See if Boyd tries to go in again.
Breaking ball, and Byron flipped it foul.
I don't think Boyd's trying to go fastball in again.
That didn't seem to work out too well.
He's 0 for 2 in that department. Dozier 3-run home run right there next to him. Escobar follows with a solo.
Now to right center field. And hustling in. And a sprawling catch by Castellanos. He got a terrible read on that ball. He broke back. Then had to hustle in. There's the third out. But not until the Twins go back to back. First Brian Dozier with a couple of men aboard. And then Escobar. And Eduardo Escobar each hit home runs, and now Kyle Gibson has a 2-run lead of 5-3. And you're right, the play that Dozier made that saved a couple of runs in the top of the second inning, the difference in this ball game, not just the home runs, but the fine fielding play with 2 men in scoring position.
And you're going to need that in postseason. You know, it's fielding, good fielding, and that's what the Twins are built around. Very good defense.
Here's Castellanos. He hit a 2-run home run his first time up. Breaking ball over, strike one. On the outside corner, 0-2. Mentioned that the Twins right now have the same number of wins that they had 2 years ago in Paul Molitor's first season as manager. 0-2 to Castellanos, just off the plate. But it feels different. One of the reasons it feels different is the Twins were chasing teams ahead of them. In 2015, the Yankees were a wild card team with 87 wins, and the Astros were the second wild card team with 86. Bounce to the left side. Adrianza has a play, and a throw over to Vargas, one away. Let's get tonight's showstopper from Marty Gelder.
And Dick, it is Giancarlo Stanton. What a season he has had. He homered twice yesterday against the Braves, numbers 58 and 59. Stanton is now just the 6th player ever to reach 59 home runs in a season. The others are Bonds, Sosa, McGuire, Maris, and Root.
Wow, that man is strong.
Kind of hope he gets 60, and I have mixed feelings about him getting 61.
Why?
Roger Maris. He's one of us, man.
I'll tell you what, he's doing it the real way too. He's just a strong man. Some of those names that Marnie mentioned maybe didn't do it the real way.
So you're suggesting to me that when Giancarlo Stanton offers his urine for testing, his does not glow in the dark?
I hope not.
And some of the others did. There's a ball swung on and missed. A changeup on 2-0, 2-1.
Kyle wanting to make sure what the count was.
And another wave and a miss. 2-2.
Good slider inside right there. And Ilario swing through it.
Two and two to the Tiger third baseman. And upstairs with a fastball, 2 down.
That's where Jimenez wanted it. He wanted it up. So strikeout number 4 for Kyle.
And that'll bring up Navarro.
See where Jimenez's glove is. Get it up in the strike zone.
And now Navarro, who hit a ground ball to Vargas. He actually hit a ground ball for the second out of the first inning. Escobar swinging over to the right side of the infield. Just one final thought about the 2015 wild card game. 86 wins was enough to get you in, but going into the last weekend, the Twins had a chance, but they had the Kansas City Royals here. The Royals swept the Twins when they needed to do the sweeping, and then they needed some help from whoever played the Astros as well. But that didn't happen. When you're leading the wild card race, it just feels different. And the Twins took care of business on the last road trip. Two strikes. Very high.
We can see that first inning, 30 pitches, 19 last inning. This will be pitch number 13.
And he came inside and got a foul ball. Hey, baseball did a nice thing today. At least I think it's nice. I think you do too. The World Series MVP from this day forward will be given as the Willie Mays Award.
I think it's great. Class man.
What they did with the batting titles for the American and National League, naming them after Rod Carew and Tony Gwynn. 1-2. Navarro takes 2-2. Hook foul. And it's still 2-2. If ever we get to the point where they'll it's sponsored still by Rawlings, I believe, the Gold Glove Awards.
Yes, it is. Jim Hughes, Rawlings, former Twin.
Former Twin is a rep for Rawlings.
You go, go, go.
2-2. And a ball hit to center field. A base hit. Good at bat as it turned out for Navarro. With 2 strikes, he fought some pitches off. and ends up with a 2-out single. You can join your fellow Twins fans at Target Field Tuesday for a wild card viewing party. You can cheer on the Twins as you watch the game on the Target Field video boards from the Delta Sky 360 Club in a free open to the public event. The evening will include concessions, between inning entertainment, yard games, and of course the Twins game. Gates 6 and 29 will be open starting at 6 p.m. Hope to see you here at the ballpark on Tuesday. It's kind of nice when you got stocking cap night and the stocking caps can be worn because it's a little chilly tonight.
Yeah,
it feels like fall.
Doesn't it make you feel stronger? I know as a player, you know, when you had that hot summer months, nice block right there by Jimenez. It keeps Navarro at first base. This type of weather just makes you stronger. Did me. It's almost like you catch your second wind.
It's the final Friday night in September. And it should be perfectly fine if you, on a Friday night in late September, can see your breath by night's end. I like that.
I don't want to see your breath.
You know what I mean. When it gets
No,
cold.
I don't. I know what you mean.
2-0.
Cal's got to get out of this inning. Twins just gave him 4 runs, a couple run lead. Too many pitches right now.
There's the outside corner, 2-1. Well, most of the road trip, it felt like the middle of summer. Really warm in Detroit for the first couple days in Cleveland. Two and one. James McCann. And now a delayed steal. And Dozier with the tag. Navarro took off on a delayed steal. And Jimenez and Dozier combined. I'm guessing that Navarro thought it was 3-2. By Northland Ford. Visit buyfordnow.com and your local Northland Ford dealer today. By Grand Casino, the best stories start here. And by Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. Good start for the Tigers. Then the Twins scored 5 runs, 4 in the second inning. And Eddie Rosario will lead things off. Molitor studying the phone. He doesn't have to use it very often. Up and in to Rosario. Went down swinging his first time up. miss. 1-1. Two.
Yeah, that's the curveball right there. The previous pitch, the hard slider away. So fastball up and in, slider, curveball.
Pop up short left. Machado in the outfield grass. Stepping off the St. Thomas logo that's still visible. Talking with Larry DeVito, the head groundskeeper, and some of the other groundskeepers about what a great job they did. Let's get more on that from Marty Gelder.
I also spoke to Larry, and he was talking about how they painted the field really carefully on Saturday because they really wanted a good presentation. But you're right, he was a little frustrated with that St. Thomas logo. It's purple. Larry said he tried to paint it green to match the grass, which turned it kind of navy blue, and then he mowed that grass down to about 1/3 of an inch. He was a little frustrated with that, but he wanted to point out the pitching mound too, because he said it took Al Keener 3 days to rebuild that. That was Al's project. He had to get it just right too, because you have to match major league regulations for slope and height and all of that. Larry said it took 6 tons of dirt and clay, all packed down, all compacted to make that mound. So kudos to Al Keener, Larry DeVito, and that grounds crew.
Absolutely. Remember at the Metrodome when they would convert it to football, it was on a hydraulic lift and they just hit a button and the mound sank away. But here, with the mound having to be removed and rebuilt, it took a lot of extra work. Talked to Larry about the yardage lines, and he says if the Twins do get by the wild card game and host ALDS games, or maybe just one game, whatever, that the grass will grow and the yard lines will be gone by then. But the St. Thomas logo on the ground off the end of the bat, Machado has a play. 2 down. He said they may have to replace the sod where the St. Thomas logo was. And of course, it was the St. Thomas logo because technically it was the St. Thomas home game.
I kind of like it, you know. I mean, you can always say Machado goes back to the 50-yard line. You could say where he caught the ball.
I walked around in the left field area a little bit before batting practice just to see what the field looked like. It's amazing. You can imagine how the grass would get chewed up. Well, you don't have to imagine it. You saw it at Met Stadium. You know, when the Vikings would play there, and summertime, sometimes you had the Kicks, the soccer team, playing at Met Stadium too. But it's just amazing what they've done to, it's a cliche, but level the playing field.
Yeah, this is grass here at Met. I know when the Vikings and soccer played, it became a painted type surface.
Well, that was in December, right?
No, that was in September.
When there were bare spots, they just painted it green?
They just painted it green.
You ever have, were you ever there when they used the flamethrowers for baseball games? We used to see the flamethrowers.
Oh, yes, yes.
I wonder where those flamethrowers are now. I mean, they're probably in an antique store someplace.
Oh, you're looking for one?
Yes, as a matter of fact.
Okay.
I can shovel my driveway, or I can fire that thing up and just melt everything away this winter.
You'd be big in your neighborhood, I'll tell you that.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
Yeah, I'll pay for gas. Let me borrow it, please. We could rent it out.
I got to find one of those. They must have had several of them, I would think. 2-2 to Vargas, and he takes up high. Vargas with a grounder to third his first time up. Swing and a miss, and Vargas strikes out. Boyd has a better third inning. Dozier has kind of owned this game.
Well, you get a rose, Brian Dozier.
The Twins in front 5-3. Dozier has a 3-run home run, an outstanding fielding play to stifle a Tiger rally. And now Kyle Gibson will face James McCann again. Busted his bat. Kepler coming in, a diving attempt, and the ball bounced off his glove.
Great attempt right there by Kepler.
Looked like he actually got there, but the ball hit the tip of the glove and never went in the middle.
I think maybe when he hit the turf, it kind of jarred it loose a little bit, but great effort right there by Kepler. Right off the end of the bat, McCann jumping on that first pitch. And Kepler diving. Yep. See, when he hit the turf, ball in and out of the glove.
Leadoff single for McCann, and now Romine.
Good effort.
Romine hit one off the end of his bat in the second inning and got a leadoff single, getting a single to left field. One strike. The Astros are leading the Red Sox 3-2 in the bottom of the 8th inning, and it's becoming a big deal now because the Yankees won this afternoon. And if Houston wins that game, the Red Sox lead would be trimmed back to 2. And if the Yankees keep gaining on the Red Sox through this weekend, potentially the Red Sox and Yankees could be tied for the division lead, and they would play a play-in game, a game 163, with the winner winning the division and the loser facing the Twins in the wild card game. Now, no one wants to play in the wild card game if there's any other alternative. I mean, it's good to get in, but you'd much rather win your division, as the Indians have, and play a 5-game series because, as we all know, anything can happen in a 1-game format. But it might also juggle the two teams starting rotations. 2-2. Chris Sale, for instance, for the Red Sox, he might be asked to pitch the game on Monday rather than opening up the ALDS for the Red Sox. And what it means for the Twins is if that game were to be played on Monday, they would stay here in Minnesota until they found out where their destination would be.
Right.
2-2. Dribbled foul off his foot. That'd just be a doggone shame if the Red Sox and Yankees had like a 17-inning game and both bullpens were depleted and the Twins faced the loser.
But the losing game would still be on, I mean, the wild card game would still be on Tuesday.
Yes. Yep. That's why the wild card game isn't played on Monday. You have to allow for the possibility of a game 163. 2-2 to Romine. And to center, and now Buxton dives and has pretty much the same play that Kepler had. And there'll be runners at first and third. And it looked too like Byron got leather on that sinking line drive. First and third, nobody out.
Yeah, outfielders diving all over the place. First it's Kepler, now a little line drive. Buxton goes and hits the heel of his glove and then deflects toward back to the infield, and that allows McCann to go from first to third.
Jacoby Jones was hit by a pitch his first time up.
Romine picking up his second hit.
Gibson, as you know, adept at getting ground ball double plays. He hasn't gotten one yet tonight. This would be a good spot to get one. 26 times this year he's gotten a ground ball double play.
Well, how about a strikeout then a double play?
Dug out by Jimenez.
I say that because Jones has struck out 63 times in 132 at-bats.
Adding to the frustration of Jones being hit by a 2-strike pitch. Ryan Presley might be brought in to help Gibson get through the 4th. On the outside corner.
26 double plays, leads the Twins in that department. Double what Berríos has been able to get.
Again, we expect Berríos to pitch at the start of an inning at some point.
Must be pitch number 80.
Breaking ball, 2-1. Strike percentage is fine. 80 pitches, 53 strikes. And some of the hits have been off the end of the bat. Castellanos' home run and Presley's triple weren't. But there hasn't been a whole lot of solid contact against Gibson. 2-1. Changeup missing. 3-1. Jones wearing the protection along his jawline from his helmet because he was hit by a pitch here in Minnesota back in April. There's a fastball in the outside corner. Justin Haley came in on a cool April afternoon. First pitch hit Jones in the face.
Well, you almost have to go back to that fastball again right here. You don't want to, unless you have confidence in throwing that slider. You don't want to walk this guy.
On the outside corner. There's your strikeout.
And that's strikeout number 5 for Kyle. And a couple of them have come at big times.
Now you want the double play grounder?
Now I want the double play grounder.
Fox Tracks presented by Ram.
Good pitch right there. And a good job by Jimenez holding it right there.
Machado hit the squibber up the first baseline. It started in foul territory, spun fair, then hit the bag and jumped up into the bare hand of Kenny Vargas.
Machado's hit into 4 double plays.
Sinking fastball, but it stayed up a little bit. 1 strike. There's the inside corner.
Keep it down right there. He keeps that sinker down. He can get a ground ball. So if they go back in, or maybe that slider away. Romine at first base. 5 stolen bases in 9 attempts. Gibson very good at holding on runners.
Just 1 successful steal in 5 tries.
Right.
0-2. Fouled off a leg. Strikeout with a sinker down and in. 2 down, and now Kinsley.
Strikeout number 6.
And Paul Molitor is going to bring in Ryan Presley to finish the inning.
Well, he did a good job getting these 2 outs with runners at first and third and nobody out. Good sinker, good movement down. So 4 straight fastballs, picks up his 6th strikeout, and Kyle Gibson leaves with 3 2/3 innings and 87 pitches thrown.
And let's hope that we'll see him on the mound again later this year. American League Division Series are on sale now. Kyle hopes to pitch in that series. A limited number of tickets remain, and you don't want to miss out on any postseason action. Tickets are available exclusively at twinsbaseball.com/postseason.
Well, Ryan Pressly coming in, wanting to get the last out here in the 4th inning, making his 57th relief appearance.
Tigers out hitting the Twins 7-5, but Pressly against Kinsler with 2 on and 2 out.
Kinsler just 2 hits and 12 at bats against Ryan.
Breaking ball, swing and a miss.
Good slider right there. Ryan throws all 4 pitches, rarely a changeup. He'll throw more of the curveball as an off-speed pitch. Good fastball in the upper 90s. Just saw the slider, also an over-the-hand type straight down curveball.
And that's the 96-mile-per-hour fastball. We've talked so much about Ryan's change mechanics, and he's been able to maintain them. You can see from his delivery that the back isn't arched like it was in the first half of the year. He's had much better command and control. Oh, 0-2. Ryan Pressly to Ian Kinsler. Just off the plate. Barrios getting loose because we anticipate he will start the 5th inning. This is not to be pitched for him to be pitching at any time here in the 4th. But as much as a starter would need a little extra time to get used to or get loose to come into a ball game, he's starting that process now. Runner goes, and a bluff throw to second. Romine gets a steal of second base.
For Romine, his 6th stolen base. Got a good jump right there, that off the pitcher. And Jimenez has to go down and field this ball. It looked like a breaking ball. Got about 1 hop.
So now Kinsler with 2 men in scoring position. The tying run at second, 2-2 from Pressly. Another nice block by Jimenez, and it's a full count. We've seen Ryan miss with the fastball. And when clocked at 98.
Jimenez is going to go talk to him about this pitch right here. Runner at second base. Watch Jimenez's reaction. Oh yeah, he got crossed up.
That was a strike.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
That's good for the gut. Like Jimenez expecting breaking ball. That's what he thought he called, and Presley thought he called a fastball.
The first pitch after the steal of second.
I did that once to Tim Laudner. I never laughed so hard on the mound.
Full count.
I got him good.
And a walk fills first base. So now Ryan Presley will pitch to Alex Presley. A couple of good takes in that plate appearance for Kinsler. So Ryan Presley with 2 S's. And just 1 E. We were denied this last weekend at Comerica Park.
Well, now you have it.
Now we have it. Presley against Presley. With the bases loaded and 2 out.
And they have never faced each other.
I'm telling you, this is history in the making. Outside ball 1.
Well, let's see what Presley wins. Which one? Hope it's Ryan, not Alex.
Two and 0.
You put yourself in that fastball situation again if you're Ryan Presley. Jimenez not going to move that much behind the plate. You need a fastball over for a strike.
Foul back 2-1. Presley with a triple off the fence in right his first time up, and then he came up with 2 men in scoring position and 2 out. And Brian Dozier robbed him of a 2-run single. 2-1. Ryan to Alex.
Did he go?
Strike
Yes.
2.
Ooh.
Big check swing call there.
Big swing. Yes, that is huge. Will Little, the third base umpire, looking to see, did he go too far? Did he attempt to go after it? Yes, he did. So this also a big pitch. 2-2. Because on 3-2, the runners would be taking off with 2 outs.
2-2. Got it with the breaking ball. Presley walked Kinsler and struck out Presley with an unhittable curveball.
out there, Presley, saying to Jimenez, you know what? I'm sorry, man. We got crossed up right there. And Jimenez saying, I took your best fastball in my gut, and I feel great. That didn't even hurt.
Now, I bet he didn't say that. He wouldn't, a good catcher wouldn't say that to a pitcher.
Well, yes, he would in a heartbeat. Jimenez would for sure.
It'll be Kepler, Jimenez, and Adrianza facing Boyd here in the 4th. Kepler fouled out for the second out of the second inning. Popped up another foul ball. This to the other side, but this is out of play. 1 strike. Kepler's had a good last week of ball games.
You know, and he's just so steady in his stance, the way that he approaches a ball coming in. Not a lot of movement with that bat.
Missing inside. I think Paul Molitor's done a great job with a couple of people on the team. Certainly Jorge Polanco, taking some pressure off when Polanco was really struggling. Lost his grandfather, might have had a lot to do with it, but Polanco wasn't having any fun playing, and Paul kind of let him sit and watch as much as he was playing, and then brought him back. And look what Polanco has done. And on a much smaller scale, I think he's done the same thing with Kepler. Swing and a miss, 1 down.
Strikeout number 3 for Boyd.
1 away. Jimenez coming to the plate, but first Toyota will allow us to get caught up.
Well, it was the Tigers that took an early 3-0 lead. Castellanos with a 2-run home run in the first inning made it 3-0. But here come the Twins. Brian Dozier with a double, almost triple, and then scored with Escobar. Then in the second inning, a 3-run home run by Dozier, followed by Escobar's home run.
Now Jimenez hooks one foul right on the barrel, but he hit it up against the limestone. 1 strike. One and one.
Brio still throwing, so it looks like he may get the next inning.
One and one. And now inside 2 and 1. Three and 1. Adrianza on deck. Changeup. And it's 3-2. Going to the bottom of the 9th at Fenway. Houston still leading 3-2. With the Yankees beating the Blue Jays 4-0 this afternoon. Full count to Chris Jimenez. And he walked him. Second time that Jimenez has walked, and the only walks that Boyd has allowed.
Second walk for Boyd, yep.
This week on Vikings Beyond the Gridiron, learn about a big honor coming up this weekend for a Vikings legend. Plus, find out the path quarterback Case Keenum took to get to Minnesota and see what's made Xavier Rhodes once again a shutdown cornerback. Vikings Beyond the Gridiron tonight following Twins live postgame on Fox Sports South and North. Here is Adrianza in the second inning when the Twins scored 4 to take the lead. They hit home runs. Dozier and Escobar hit them back to back. Right before that, Adrianza almost homered. He hit one off the corner of the pad on top of the left field wall. Check swing and a roller to left. And the Twins getting pretty good production from the 8 and 9 batters here.
And remember, that all came with 2 outs too, with the walk to Jimenez. And what happens? It's a 1-out walk to Jimenez. And Adrianza picks up his second hit.
And now tonight, State Farm combination. Twins 20 home run club Includes Brian Dozier, who's in the 30 home run club. And Sano stuck at 28. Who knows how many at bats he'll get, what he'll be able to do with those at bats. Rosario, Escobar. And then Max Kepler has 19. He might join the 20 home run club this weekend. Dozier with a double and a 3-run home run. Hitting for the 3rd time here in the 4th inning. Twins haven't had anybody hit for the cycle. And Dozier almost got the triple out of the way in his first at bat.
He's had great numbers against Boyd. 13 hits and 29 at bats with 3 home runs now.
Strike, and it's 1-1. Let's try to add to a 5-3 lead. Jimenez at second, Adrianza at first. Swing a foul, 1-2.
Change up by Boyd.
Artie Lewicki and Blaine Hardy warming up.
This will be pitch number 80 for Boyd.
Blocked by McCann. 2-2. And another night of good Twins hitting against Tiger pitching. And McCann to the mound.
Told you the numbers on Boyd against the Twins. 5-1 over his career. And here at Target Field, he's unbeaten. 3-0. This is his 5th start here at Target Field. Came in with a very good 3.3 ERA. So they went over this 2-2 pitch right here. See what they decided.
And a changeup down and away. Dozier strikes out 2 down. That'll bring up Escobar.
Boyd picking up his 2nd strikeout of the inning, his 4th of the ball game. So they talked about it. I'm surprised they didn't want to go fastball in, Brian. Instead, they went changeup down and away.
Well, now Escobar. He got a fastball down and in. And hit one into the second deck.
All you got to do is throw something down to this guy. He'll hit it hard somewhere.
Hit hard, foul.
And that changeup was down.
It might surprise you that Eddie Rosario, who has more at bats, also has more walks than Escobar. Rosario with 35 walks and Escobar has 33. Chopper to third. Candelario fires on the run, makes the play. The Twins strand 2 and lead by 2 as we go to the 5th.
all along from Paul Molitor. I talked to Barrios before the game and said that he has done this before, that the first 5 or 6 appearances he made in his professional career were out of the bullpen. He also was a reliever in the World Baseball Classic this past summer and in 2013. And Jose said that he thinks that when he gets the ball, he doesn't tell himself, okay, I'm a reliever. He just tells himself, I'm trying to pitch, trying to make quality pitches. So he goes through the same routine, Dick and Bert, before the game, and he's familiar with the routine out in the bullpen, how to get ready to come into a game as a reliever.
Yeah, thank you, Marnie. You know, he's made 39 starts for the Twins. This is his first major league relief appearance.
And it's all done because of the game of high-stakes poker the Twins will play Tuesday. And you can imagine a scenario. Certainly the hope is Irvin Santana will give the Twins 5, 6, 7 good innings. But in the event it's kind of an outing like the kind Kyle had here tonight, where guys on base all the time, and it was just every pitch was thrown under duress. Start fresh with a new arm and leave it all on the table on Tuesday, because if you don't win that game, your season's over with.
Key to Barrios again is that fastball. He's got to control that fastball down in the strike zone, big sweeping breaking ball, and then a changeup.
Castellanos, Candelario, and Navarro. Up and in, ball 1. Houston beat Boston 3-2. The Red Sox fail in another attempt to clinch the American League East. So the margin now is 2 games between the Red Sox and the Yankees, with 2 games to play.
He missed twice with that fastball, up for ball 1, and then missed down and away.
Strikes on the outside corner.
A great angle right there. 95 on the black. That's the pitch I'm talking about. Not only to right-handers, also to left-handers. Control of that fastball. And he's capable of doing that, and I think we'll see that in time as he matures and gets more innings underneath his belt.
Breaking ball lifted to right. Kepler moving toward the line. Puts it away, 1 down. Red Sox banged up, and one of the key guys for them is a guy who was playing for the Twins just over a year ago, Eduardo Nunez, acquired from the Giants, a right knee injury, and he's out for the rest of the regular season. And the hope is that he will be ready for the ALDS. But again, the Red Sox, if they don't take care of business here pretty soon, they're going to have a game 163.
Well, we know that Nunez, how much energy he brings to a ball club too.
But so much of his game is with his legs, though. You know, very fast runner, and he really sparked that Red Sox lineup right after they got him. That's a very significant loss.
Well, I think Mookie Betts is hurting a little bit too.
And Pedroia has had his knee issues on and off throughout the year. Two strikes to Candelario. Three strikes.
There's that fastball I was talking about. Went breaking ball, fastball, and then a good fastball right there. Great location. And Candelario strikes out for the 3rd time. So you see the breaking ball, fastball, and even a better fastball.
Two down, and now Efrain Navarro. Navarro with a bouncer to first. And then a single. It was later thrown out trying to steal. 1-0. The Indians are leading 10-1. The Dodgers are trailing 7-1 to the Rockies. Rockies trying to hold off the Brewers for a wild card spot. And the Indians still have hopes of having the best overall record. They are 2 games behind the Dodgers. But it looks like one of those games might be taken care of here tonight. Cleveland scored 10 runs against Mike Pelfrey, who started for the White Sox. Two and one to Navarro. And now 2-2.
Another good fastball.
Brewers leading St. Louis 4-1, bottom of the 6th in St. Louis.
11 pitches so far, 7 strikes for Berrios.
Poke foul.
You know what's great is about going to the wild card, whoever they play is for guys like Berrios and all these young kids that have grown up this year and have put together very solid years. This is a good team. 1 through 9. Pitching staff, I think, is getting better. You know, I mean, you look at Santana, you look at Berrios. Gibson's been really good over the last month. Yeah, he struggled a little bit today, but got his work in. It's an exciting outfield to watch, hopefully for years to come.
2-2 to Navarro. Fighting off another one. Navarro had an at bat like this in the 3rd inning. He ended up getting a base hit.
Yeah, off of Gibson. He just hit a ball to the left of. You see where Adrianza's playing, and now Escobar's going to come over.
But he fouled off a
Back
bunch
to
of
third.
2-strike pitches before the base hit, and that's what he's doing here in this at bat.
Adrianza's standing exactly where Navarro got that hit. Now it's short.
And another foul.
I did not like hitters like him. 8 pitches.
Well, Wade Boggs was probably the best at it in your later stages of your career, right?
You know what? Wade Boggs would take a couple strikes, and then it's a battle after that. He's like Joe Mauer. You know, he was not afraid to hit with 2 strikes.
Missing, and now it's 3-2. He probably played with one of the best, Rod Carew. Full count to Navarro. McCann on deck. And he pulled another base hit up the middle, right where Escobar was playing him. And another great at bat for Navarro, a 2-out single. Twins have already secured their postseason spot. Now your group can too. Groups of 16 to 50 people can enjoy a unique experience this postseason in a Target Field suite. To guarantee your suite, call the VIP hotline at 612-370-4575. Here's McCann. He was at the plate when it looked like Navarro tried to pull off a delayed steal, but he was thrown out on a good peg from Jimenez. Popped up, foul, and out of play. Berrios consistently in the mid-90s with his fastball, but we haven't seen swings and misses. Breaking ball fouled into the screen above the Twins dugout. 0-2. 2 strikes to James McCann. Breaking ball lifted to short right center field, and Kepler has an easy play to make. And he makes it. You're watching Twins baseball presented by State Farm.
Circle, and we have $100 worth of scratch-off lottery tickets for Don here from Sioux Falls, South Dakota. He is celebrating his 80th birthday at the ballpark tonight. Happy birthday,
Thank you
Mr.
very
Don.
much.
You were telling me your favorite Twins player is Byron Buxton.
Byron Buxton, yeah.
And why is that?
I like the excitement that he brings to the game. The first time I saw him play, the way he runs, his attitude about hitting and fielding, he brings that integrity to baseball that we don't have in a lot of places. And he gives the Twins a real excitement to come to watch him. And listening to all these fans tonight, it's exciting for me. It's 80 years old to be excited by a guy, a kid like this, how great he plays.
I like your analysis. Would you care to join us in the booth at some point if Bert, bows out for any reason?
Sure.
I'll keep you posted. Happy birthday, Don.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, Don, thank you very much. I tweeted him back happy birthday to enjoy the game earlier this afternoon or when.
Sounds like he is doing just that.
Yes,
enjoying
he
the
is.
game.
Boy, he knows the game of baseball, and he's picked the right guy to try to, like a lot. And that's this guy right here, Byron Buxton. Exciting young player.
Hit hard to center. Jones is right there to make the catch. Buxton really stifled against Matt Boyd. He's made a couple bids, actually 3 bids for hits, but can't seem to get one to find the outfield grass. 1 down here in the 5th. That'll bring up Eddie Rosario.
Boyd ended up catching that about his shoestrings. Had to come in and get that.
Rosario with a strikeout and a pop-up. At some point, we expect to see Miguel Sano pinch hit. It probably won't be till later in the game, and it might be in Grossman's spot, the DH spot. Sano took some extended batting practice today after being activated. And that's one roll up the middle for a base hit. Rosario gets a base hit with 1 down. And it, I'm guessing, had nothing to do with the decision not to start Sano, but back in late April here, after Jones had been hit by a pitch, Boyd threw one behind Miguel Sano. And then McCann came out from his catcher's spot and shoved his glove in his face. And all that really happened after that was Sano got a 1-game suspension.
Boys will be boys, and men will be men.
Here's Grossman and a throw to first. You imagine what it must have been like for the guy who led this team through the first 4 months of the year, made the All-Star game on merit, runner-up in the home run derby, an emerging star, to watch his teammates celebrate as they did in Cleveland, with him being back in Minnesota. Strike one to Grossman. Kind of slings it over to first.
Well, the Tigers, as we mentioned, they're having a frustrating year, but they're relying on a trade that happened 3 years ago with the Toronto Blue Jays, and that's getting this guy right here, and also Daniel Norris, another left-handed pitcher. They're hoping that they can be their good pitchers.
Chopper to third. Candelario looks at second, fires to first. 2 down. Rosario advances to second. The Major League Baseball postseason almost here, and where every pitch, hit, and strikeout, every out, inning, and game has led to this. The only thing that matters now is October. The ALDS begins Thursday only on FS1, and the Twins hope to be there, probably in Cleveland. With Houston and Cleveland each winning, the Indians would have to lose 2 in a row. They haven't done that since the middle of August. So it would appear even more likely than it did 24 hours ago that Twins, if they can get past, very likely the Yankees in the wild card game, would go to Cleveland. Here's Vargas. Outside, ball 1.
Yeah, McCann went out and talked to Boyd about Vargas right here with Kepler on deck. Try to pitch Vargas very carefully. First pitch, change up, down and away for ball 1.
Paul Molitor brought up an interesting point in discussing the roster while we were in Cleveland. Possible postseason roster. This is after the Twins had clinched. And he said, you know, we've only got 6 bench players to start with. Now they have 7 with Sano. But in the 1-game format where you might not need more than 10 pitchers, that would include 6 bench players. And right now the Twins have 7. And there's a pretty good bet not all 7 will be on the postseason roster. But the objective is simply to win 1 game. So these at-bats for Vargas, particularly right-handed, I think everybody knows what he can do left-handed, but the at-bats he has here right-handed might help dictate whether he's on the roster or not.
Let's see if he has a green light right here. Looks like 3 changeups away to get the count to 3-0.
And he walked him, and that'll bring up Kepler.
It wasn't an intentional walk, but they didn't want to get hurt right there by Vargas.
Brad Ausmus is going to bring in, I'm guessing, a new left-hander, Chad Bell, to face Kepler. Boyd gave up 5 runs, all of them earned. He's responsible for 2 men left behind him with 2 down in the 5th.
Vargas because Kepler was the next hitter. Boyd had wanted nothing to do, or McCann, with Vargas. Now it's Boyd out there still, and he'll face Kepler.
And everyone knows Max's difficulties, his struggles against lefties. And he takes an off-speed pitch over for strike one. Kepler with a foul out and a strikeout.
Now, in his first 2 at-bats, Boyd has thrown him a lot of curveballs.
See if Kepler can have a better at-bat against a lefty. 0-1. Inside 1-1.
Yep, another curveball. See the pitch count getting close to 100. So this might be the last hitter that Boyd will face.
Kepler asks for time, gets it. Ball and a swing and a miss, 1-2.
That's a slider right there. So a couple curveballs, then the slider. Was a slider just a harder breaking ball than the curveball? McCann sitting away.
Missing inside, 2-2. Slow breaking ball, but he went. Kepler appealing to Stu Shorewater, saying he didn't go, but the check swing was called. And Kepler strikes out, leaving a couple of men aboard.
Hey Twins fans, this is Chris Jimenez. Thank you guys so much for tuning in all year long, supporting us, having our backs the entire way. We really appreciate it.
Chris Jimenez with some heartfelt thoughts about Twins fans, and we can echo those. We appreciate all the Twins fans who watched Twins baseball this year. We really appreciate that guy.
Yeah, look at that right there. He's got chocolate chip cookies for you and oatmeal raisin for me.
Good. Let's make sure we don't mix up the order there. Our Mountain Dew
Very nice.
fan of the game. Just think if we had that as a requirement, a prerequisite for people getting circled, making us cookies. Now you've been circling people already. For what, 15 years, something like that?
Something like that.
We both weigh 300 pounds. Romine facing Barrios, who faced 4 men in a scoreless fifth.
Yeah, he threw 20 pitches, 15 for strikes in that first inning of relief.
Foul back. Still 0-2. Kind of sad to hear that Pete McCannon, former Twin infielder, was reassigned by the Phillies today. Pete had done a really good job with a rebuilding team, playing about 500 baseball in the second half of the year. Tyler Duffy getting loose in the Twins' pen. 1-2, and now 2-2.
Yeah, with Duffy getting up, I think they'd like Barrios right here to get through this inning. Give me 2 good innings.
Right back to the mound, and Barrios gathers it in. 1 down. Twins baseball on Fox Sports North is presented by State Farm, here to help life go right with the home and auto protection you deserve. 1 down in the 6th, and that'll bring up Jacoby Jones.
You know, you got to look down the line too, Dick. If the Twins do win that wild card game, sounds like Gibson would get the first game in Cleveland, but then you have somebody who would be the second game. If Barrios is not needed in that Cleveland game, then Barrios may be set up
in the New York game.
Yeah,
right.
In a wild card
right.
game.
Yeah, but again, it just, you know, all of this is being done because there's so much. I mean, it's the season. Yeah. Tuesday night is the season.
Right. You have to win that game.
And that's why, you know, if the Red Sox don't take care of business and that the Yankees catch them, you know, both those teams will have to play on Monday. Now, for the winning team, that's not that big of a concern. They wouldn't start their series. Buxton to center. He'll field it on a hop. And Jones has his first hit. The winning team of game 163 would have a couple of days to, you know, line things up bullpen wise and otherwise, but the losing team then would have to host the Twins the very next day. Well, Barrios with 29 pitches thrown, the Twins got out of him what they wanted to get out of him. Basically kind of a glorified bullpen session, would you call this? And he pitched a scoreless inning and faced 6 men, and he'll give way now to Tyler Duffy. That part out now.
Yeah, they're playing a lot better here, you know. even 500, 39-39 here at home. Scoring some runs. Pitching's been okay, getting better. Getting some long balls. Winning some games late.
Yeah, they have 1 through 9 been able to hit balls out. And now today they'll have welcomed back their slugging third baseman DH Miguel Sano.
Tyler Duffy coming in to hopefully get the final 2 outs here in the 6th inning. To me, he's one of the keys too. He's got to find a little better consistency because he started was in 3 games on the road. He did not pitch well at all. So the Twins need this guy's arm too in postseason to get an out or maybe an inning here or there. On a road trip, he made 3 appearances, worked 2 2/3 innings, and gave up 5 earned runs.
You know, it always happens. Players are left off playoff rosters. And it's a bitter pill to swallow to go through the season as Tyler's done with the team all year long. And I'm not suggesting that he's going to be left off, but it'll happen to some people who want more than anything else to pitch in that game or play in that game Tuesday. Twins right now with 14 relief pitchers. Well, if Barrios as a starter is going to be counted on to pick up some relief innings to strike 2 and 1, that's 1 more reliever who's on the team now who won't be on Tuesday. The rosters have to be submitted Tuesday morning, so there's no urgency right now, but I'm sure all the players are in their own minds figuring things out, coming up with their own playoff rosters. And you know Derek Falvey, Thad Levine, and Paul Molitor are doing it too.
As I said, Tyler Duffy's one of those guys I think that's on the bubble. He's got to pick it up and have some good outings here, whether it's today and maybe Sunday. He's got to help change the mind of wanting to be on that roster, whatever it is. It's been a struggle as of late for Tyler.
2-2 to Dixon Machado, and a strikeout for out number 2.
And a good fastball right there. 5 fastballs to Machado, and he picks up a strikeout. So Duffy just rearing back and challenging Machado with that 93-mile-an-hour fastball.
Name I threw out there the other day was Tony Fiore back in 2002. Won 10 games out of the bullpen for the Twins, but he wasn't on the playoff roster. Outside, ball 1.
Well, the goal is to get to the next level. You got to win that wild card. You need your best pitchers out there, whoever that is decided upon. And sometimes you can change the minds very quickly by going out there and attacking the strike zone.
Pickoff throw handcuffed Vargas a little bit. And with every round, the roster can change. It's worth repeating again that if the Twins win the wild card game Tuesday, they can reset their roster for the next round. And again, if they get to the ALCS, and then again if they get to the World Series.
Now Duffy's thrown 7 fastballs, all fastballs, only 3 in the strike zone, and that struck out Machado. But he falls behind again.
2-0 to Kinsler.
And every pitch is about belt high. He's got to get that ball down. Now you pretty much have to be down the heart of the plate like that.
So I'm going to foul 2-1.
Yeah, feelings might get hurt, but you know what? You're trying to win a ball game, and that's the game.
Paul did not address this, but I immediately thought when he talked about it You know, one of the worst parts of a manager's job is telling players toward the end of spring training that they maybe had a good spring training, but they did not make the club. Can you imagine? There's a strike on the outside corner, 2-2. Can you imagine how much more difficult it would be for managers who have to call regular players who they've been with for 7 months and tell them, oh, not this time?
It's part of the game. 9 straight fastballs. Duffy has a good curveball.
Fly ball right field, playable for Kemper. And on fastballs alone, Tyler Duffy gets the last 2 outs of the 6th. Baseball on Fox Sports North is presented by Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in the Twin Cities. It's good to see the sweatshirts, t-shirts, caps, and it's been a long time, and Twins fans have endured a lot, and the sense I get is they have embraced this team. And wouldn't it be wonderful if they could make a long postseason run? Jimenez has walked twice tonight. He'll lead off the 6th.
Warwick Sappold on the mound here, taking over for Boyd, making his 45th relief appearance.
Jimenez swings and misses. Left hand came off. You remember yesterday in Cleveland, that left hand got hit by a pitch. Gets ahead of Jimenez. If there was any serious issue, he would not have been in the lineup tonight. And to center field, a base hit. Knuckled all the way out there. Jimenez has been on base all 3 times. A leadoff single for Jimenez. And now we hear from Arnie Gill.
I have our big story today. The Yankees this afternoon hosted the Blue Jays in the Bronx. Masahiro Tanaka had a perfect game into the 5th inning, ended up throwing 7 innings, 3 hits, a career-high 15 strikeouts, which ties Steven Strasburg for the most in a game this season. The Yankees won. The Red Sox lost to Houston, so now Boston has a 2-game lead over the Yankees with 2 to go. Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
It's building. The tension's building in Boston. There's a strike on the outside corner to Adrianza. He's got a double, a near home run, but a double, and then a single. On the outside corner again, 0-2. Adrianza came to the Twins. We didn't know much about him other than what he had done in spot duty with the Giants, and he frankly hadn't done much at the plate. James Rowson's been given a lot of credit for the turnaround of Byron Buxton and the improvement of some other hitters, but gotta believe he's done a pretty nice job with Adrianza too.
And I think Rudy Hernandez too. You got to give a lot of credit to Rudy. They work hand in hand.
Turned into a productive hitter. 2 strikes. Hernandez, who spent most of this year back in the batting cages and in the video room. There's a limit during the regular season as to how many coaches you can have in the dugout, and the assistant hitting coach was on the outside of the dugout area, but still working very hard. 1-2.
Well, he's so well liked by all the Latin players, so the communication gap sometimes, that's the Rowson Hernandez combo that they need.
1-2. That is a foul ball. Rowson spent a good part of spring training in the early part of the season just getting to know his guys. Didn't want to get too much into mechanics or hitting tips or anything like that, understanding that everybody's different, so you got to get to know guys. It's unusual, or at least it has been in the Twins organization, to bring the high profile coaches in from outside the organization. Twins did it a few years ago, of course, with Neil Allen as the pitching coach, but Tom Bernansky, Rowson's predecessor, was in the minor leagues with Brian Dozier and a lot of the other hitters that came up over the most recent years. Rowson came from the outside. Ironically, came from the Yankee organization.
Spent 3 seasons as minor league hitting coordinator.
Popped up near third. Candelario with the catch, 1 down. This game turned around in the second inning when the Twins were down by 2, and then Brian Dozier put them ahead by 1.
I remember, Boyd, the previous pitch went fastball hard in. They tried to go in again, not far enough for Brian Dozier, hitting his 34th home run of the year. Made it a 4-3 game, and then Escobar, the next hitter, followed up with another home run.
On the outside corner with a fastball. El Sano putting on a shin guard. Escobar, the third baseman's on deck. Just my speculation. I thought he might enter the game for Grossman in the DH spot in the event the lineup comes around again. One and one to Dozier. Checked his swing, but he went. Stu Sherwater calls it a strike. 1-2.
A lot of off-speed pitches. Southpaw, 27 years old, signed by Detroit out of Australia back in 2012. Made 6 appearances last year, making his 45th appearance this year.
One and 2 to Brian Dozier. 2-2. 3-2.
Let's see if Jimenez is taken off here. He does have one stolen base in one attempt.
Hey, Albert Pujols stole a base tonight, his 3rd of the year. Pujols can get one.
Jimenez can get 2.
Well, let's start with 1.
Well, he already has 1. Now he's got to get number 2. There he goes.
It's ball 4.
Oh, he had a stolen easy too.
1st and 2nd, 1 down, and that'll bring up Escobar. The most popular way to follow the Twins this postseason is with MLB.com at bat, the #1 app for live baseball. Enjoy game day, live game video highlights, radio broadcast, statcast, news, and more. Download MLB.com at bat today. Escobar, like Dozier, with a double and a home run. And now Escobar will swing as a left-handed bat,
where he has 14 of his 21 home runs.
Earlier, Polanco hit home runs from each side of the plate. Strike 1. Twins looking for win number 84 on the season. Swing and a miss. 0-2.
Nasty slider down and in.
We've seen it happen so many times it has become predictable. With 2 strikes, they might waste 1 or 2, but then they will go upstairs to try to get Escobar to strike out. 0-2. Breaking ball fouled off his foot.
Looks like the left shin area of Escobar as he walks it off.
Back leg.
Yep. Ouch.
Oh, 2.
2 straight sliders down and in.
Poke to center. Down for a hit. Jimenez around third. He's coming home. And Escobar drives in his 3rd run of the night with a single.
And a no surprise, for some reason they keep working him down as this ball was down about shin high. And Escobar just dropping it into center field softly. That allows Jimenez and his speed to score from second base. He scores for the 2nd time in a ball game. I mean, not a bad pitch, a pitcher's pitch, but again, it's down right off the end of the bat. Jimenez gets a good read, takes off, and scores. Twins take a 6-3 lead.
And now Buxton 0 for 3. Fouled away.
Tell you what, we saw the Detroit Tigers in Detroit for that 4-game series, and they got a lot of work to do, especially with their pitching staff. They come into this ball game 5.37 ERA. That's fast. That's the worst in baseball. Their starters combined 5.19. Their relievers 5.67 out of their bullpen. Not good.
Strike 2 to Buxton, and an ERA in September of 7.
Yeah, Twins had a lot to do with that in that 4-game series.
And again here tonight, 6 more earned runs and less than 6 innings, and Buxton with a chance to do more damage. He's got an 0-2 count. Outside, 1-2. remember that this rebuilding project that the Tigers have undertaken actually began a couple of years ago, and it ended up costing Dave Dombrowski his job. He was the guy who said, we're not good enough. We need to reload. Our farm system hasn't been productive. So he traded Cespedes. He traded David Price. And the owner, Mr. Ilitch, who you spoke of earlier, said, no, we want to win now. And Dombrowski was dismissed. And then big contracts were given to Justin Upton, Jordan Zimmerman, because the owner wanted to try to win a World Series for his beloved city. And it didn't work. And now the Tigers, frankly, are in a mess. It's a terrible situation.
I think we talked about it in Cleveland, Dick, a little bit. Chicago's going through rebuilding, and then what's Kansas City going to do? With all their superstars, more or less free agents. It'll be an interesting winter for the Royals, but the Tigers, the White Sox are all rebuilding.
2-2 to Buxton. Inside 3-2. Rosario on deck. So what you're seeing this year, you might see for a while.
Right.
The Indians should be good for a while. They secured their talented pitchers and got them to long-term contracts at club-friendly prices. And an emerging team like the Twins trying to dethrone Cleveland, or perhaps getting into the playoffs again with the wild card. Buxton chases.
Yeah.
2 away.
Byron just chased a pitch out of the strike zone right there.
And now Brad Ausmus. It seems like the walks have been slower and slower all season long.
Well, take a look at this slider right there, about a foot outside. Byron, I'm sure, saying, oh, why did I swing at that?
Probably about halfway through his swing.
Yeah.
He was thinking that. Southpole out. And Bell coming in to face Rosario. Three batters into the game. Now a game break, and we take you out to Anaheim. Yeah, Albert Pujols stole a base, but the big story was Mike Trout hitting his 200th home run already.
That man can play.
And the Angels hoping to finish with a 500 record. That's the best they can do. If they lose a game, it'll be the second straight losing record for Mike Scioscia's teams.
Yeah, Chad Bell coming into the ball game. The Tigers started him in 4 ball games. That did not pan out. Now he's out in the bullpen, making his 27th appearance overall. Opponents are hitting .321 off of Bell. Basically fastball, slider.
Rosario in the box, Grossman in the on deck circle. Tapper back toward the mound, and Bell scoops it up and flips. And the Twins get one, but lead two. They lead 6-3.
Castellanos hit a 2-run home run. Castellanos, that was his 26th of the year. He drove over 100 runs in now, but Brian Dozier topped that. A big 3-run home run in the second inning, and Escobar followed with his home run. And then Escobar again, a big RBI single right there, scored Jimenez to give the Twins a 6-3 lead.
Dozier and Escobar going back-to-back. The Twins have added a run since and now lead 6-3. Tyler Duffy got through the 6th inning, throwing just fastballs, and he will at least start the 7th. The batter is Alex Presley. There's a breaking ball.
Yeah, first one. When Duffy came in last inning, 10 fastballs. Ended up getting 2 outs, a strikeout, and a fly ball out. And starts Presley off with a curveball.
Down low, 1-1.
That was a changeup right there at 84.
Rogers getting loose. Twins will want all the relievers who would be on the playoff roster to work once, perhaps twice. Because there will be necessarily for the Twins an off day on Monday. So you can imagine, we've already seen Barrios, but now Duffy, Rogers, we might see Hildenberger and Buznitz, give them tomorrow off, have them start or pitch again on Sunday. That might be how it plays out.
Yeah, safe situation. Maybe Matt Belisle will get saved today and then maybe come out Sunday again.
Inside, nearly hit him. Irvin Santana is done for the regular season. He will start for the Twins on Tuesday, perhaps at Fenway Park. Breaking ball, chopped to third. Escobar has it, and one away.
Well, 3 up, 3 down for Duffy.
Bring up Castellanos. The productive year for Castellanos, about the only thing that has gone right for the Tigers, and then within that they're asking him to make a pitching or a position change from third base to right field.
Well, they had a pretty good right fielder at the beginning of the year in J.D. Martinez.
Swing and a miss.
And boy, did he take off in Arizona.
Hitting a home run every other game for the Diamondbacks. One strike to Castellanos. And off the plate, 1-1.
I saw Jimenez right there. Let Duffy know that he flew open.
JD Martinez is going to become a free agent. That's one of the reasons the Tigers traded him. Alex Avila dealt to the Cubs. Justin Wilson going with him. Justin Upton was dealt to the Angels because he's got a big contract that he may opt out of, or at least that.
Yeah, right.
Well, I don't know if he'll do it in Anaheim, but you can imagine, given the circumstances,
in Detroit,
if he had not been traded, I'm sure he would have opted out. And then, of course, Justin Verlander, who was the fixture of the franchise.
And the Angels picked up another big contract of Upton's.
Three and one to Castellanos. A lot of the moves that the Tigers made were made for financial reasons. And they still are saddled with some contracts that no one else wants.
You got to trust that fastball away right here for Duffy.
It's hard to right. Kepler hardly has to move 2 down. And that'll bring up Candelario. Tomorrow, college football is on FS1 and Fox. First, Maryland battles Minnesota at 10:30 in the morning Central. And then Iowa takes on Michigan State on Fox, followed by Oklahoma State and Texas Tech. Every game is everything. We're on the air again tomorrow night. Game time starting an hour earlier at 6 o'clock.
Nice crowd tonight for Fan Appreciation Weekend.
The stocking caps come in handy. Fouled away, 1 strike. Candelario struck out 3 times.
Came into the game hitting .357. Again, coming over from the Cub organization.
Missing inside, 1-1. Milwaukee beat St. Louis 5-3, and the Rockies are leading the Dodgers 9-1 in the 8th. Hit to left, hit fairly well. Rosario back, circling over, and makes the catch on the end of the track. 5 up, 5 down for Tyler Duffy. Paul Molitor offering some counsel as to what he should do perhaps if he hits one in the cap. And we'll see what kind of an at-bat this is. Nice reaction from this nice crowd on this Friday night, welcoming the big man back to the lineup. He is hitting in Grossman's spot.
Tell you what, if he is healthy and he can just make solid contact, he might be a nice addition on Tuesday.
Inside ball one. I asked Paul Molitor today what he would look for from Sano. What would Sano have to do to indicate to the manager he should be on the playoff roster? He mentioned two things. It's not doubles, home runs, anything like that. And Sano will run out of the box on the dribbler, and he is retired, one down. Looking for timing and pitch recognition. That's what Paul Molitor is looking for from Sano.
And he gets a nice applause again. They're asking him, did you get all of that one?
One down, and that'll bring up Vargas. With the thought that Sano might be the starting designated hitter tomorrow and get more than one at bat. He could still come around and hit again if the Twins get some guys on base, score some runs in the 8th, in the 7th and 8th inning. Vargas 0 for 2 with a walk. Fastball up, 1-1. And what that man has done in Sano's absence, been an ongoing discussion, social media, radio talk shows. Who would the Twins MVP be? And I don't know that you should discount Eduardo Escobar for what he's done. This Twins team, not only have they not missed a beat in Sano's absence, they've been better offensively. That doesn't happen very often when a big bat leaves the lineup. 3-1 to Vargas. And a strike, 3-2.
Why the game of baseball is a team game. You'd like to jump on the shoulders of one guy, but it doesn't happen too often, and Escobar has done a great job in replacing Miguel.
Full count to Vargas. Ouch. And another ball hit back to the pitcher. Yeah, he's got 3 assists since he's come into the game.
Rosario hit one back to him, his first hitter. Now Sano and Vargas.
And now deeper coverage of baseball presented by T-Mobile. Jose Ramirez with 2 more doubles. And we mentioned Mike Pelfrey gave up 10 runs, 7 of them earned for the White Sox. Ryan Zimmerman with a couple of home runs, 12 total bases. And Nolan Arenado helping the Rockies jump out to a big lead on the Dodgers. Cracked foul off the bat of Kemp.
Watch out.
Down into the area of impact. This is
kind of the handicap section down there, and the line drive, I believe, got somebody.
The same line drive that Todd Frazier hit at Yankee Stadium that struck a small girl. And so we will have a delay as medical attention is being summoned.
So dangerous.
Kepler standing back in, and we'll resume play. One strike. And another foul. 3 prior at bats against left-handed pitching. Faced Boyd 3 times, went 0 for 3 with a foul out and 2 strikeouts. And some encouraging rounds of applause for the fan who's being helped. Just off the plate, 1 and 2. Another one.
That might be a record.
4 assists
4 for 4
by the pitcher Chad Bell, and the Twins go down 1-2-3.
We can't get it by him.
Target Field, I'm Anthony LaPanta inside Ball of America studio. Tomorrow, these same 2 teams will resume the series. 5:30 for Twins Live with Tom Hanneman and Tim Laudner. First pitch at 6 o'clock from the ballpark. Twins and Tigers, 2nd of 3 at Target Field. Now let's head back to the ballpark.
Paul Molitor said today Aaron Slegers will make the start tomorrow night against Buck Farmer. And then Anibal Sanchez is going to go Sunday, and very likely the Twins will go with Bartolo Colon to start that game.
Well, good outing for Tyler Duffy. Thought he pitched well. 23 pitches, an inning and 2/3. Had a strikeout, retired all 5 batters. Taylor Rogers coming into the ball game, making his 68th relief appearance. Good numbers overall for Taylor.
Particularly against lefties. Pretty big spread in terms of success rate. There will be a lot of matching up on Tuesday for both teams. You can imagine the Yankees bringing in, if it is the Yankees the Twins play, bringing in a left-handed reliever every time Max Kepler is hitting for the Twins, particularly if there are men on base. And similarly, Rogers will be used against some of the Yankee left-handers, but maybe not at all against any right-handed batters. So that's why you say, well, my goodness, you can't get through one game with 9 pitchers. The reason 10 will be on the roster is because there's going to be a lot of lefty-lefty, righty-righty matchups.
And Taylor Rogers done a good job of how he fares against that first hitter he faces.
1-2. Trevor Hildenberger.
For Taylor Rogers, inherited runners 35, only 5 have scored.
That's outstanding.
Big slow curveball, almost that. That's what he uses for a changeup. So Taylor Rogers gets the first out here. Navarro striking out for the first time in a ball game after getting a couple singles.
And now McCann will bat. Fox Tracks presented by Carrier.
Add and subtract with that curveball. Big curveball right there at 79 miles an hour. Talked to Taylor the other day about his twin brother, Tyler. He had a very good year in AAA for the Giants. He's going down. Tyler is down to the Dominican Republic to play winter ball.
Check swing, ball one. I asked Taylor the same thing, and I did. It's my fault, I guess. I described his brother as a sidearmer when, in fact, he is a dead submariner. I mean, his hand almost touches the ground when he pitches.
Almost a shades of, say, Kent Colby or Dan Quisenberry, that type.
Chad Bradford more recently. Remember, Bradford one time did scrape his knuckles on the mound with his delivery.
Yeah, now Taylor's right-handed. His brother Taylor's left-handed. His brother's right-handed.
And they are identical twins. Other than that,
yeah, there is a height difference. That Taylor is 6'3", Tyler is 6'5".
3-0 to James McCann. And a walk puts McCann aboard with one out.
This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Minnesota Twins and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and description of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Minnesota Twins LLC.
I think I've told the story before. It was about this time last year. Sometimes if I have a little extra time, I like to walk through the concourses and see the excitement in fans' faces for being here, particularly the little kids. It's very heartwarming and cathartic for me. So I was doing that last year, and I was down the left field line. This is about a half hour before game time, and I walked by Tyler Rogers, and I waved because I thought it was Taylor, of course. And then it occurred to me,
what are you doing here?
What are you doing here? You should be in the clubhouse with your uniform on. And then, it was one of those where I was 10 feet past, and it occurred to me, the light bulb went off. No, this is Tyler, and he's visiting Taylor. 2 strikes to Romine.
Went right after him. Fastball, curveball, fastball.
The walk to McCann got him upset there a little bit. And now Trevor Hildenberger will get a chance to finish an inning here in the 8th. So Rogers facing 3 men, and now Hildenberger will relieve him in the 8th. Two down, and Jacoby Jones will hit against Trevor Hildenberger. middle guy. And now Trevor Hildenberger will try to strand the guy that walked.
Trevor making his 37th relief appearance. 38 hits in 41 2/3 innings. Only 6 walks, and 2 of those intentional with 43 strikeouts. 2 lefties and righties hitting about the same. The home run by the left-hander, that was actually Kipnis yesterday. Hit that 2-run home run off of him in relief.
Just got a changeup down and away and just hooked it into the seats. Jacoby Jones was hit by a pitch, called out on strikes, and then he singled. Ball tapper. Strike 1. Pretty cool deal. He got a stocking cap on a baseball.
A souvenir, yep. I love baseball, she's saying. Future fan forever.
Outside 1-1. Talking about Jones's face guard there, we're seeing more and more of that, even from players who haven't been hit there. I'll bet you that is the next phase of player protection. I bet that will be standard before too long. Check swing, and he went. It doesn't block a hitter's vision at all. It adds quite a bit more protection through the jawline up to the cheek area.
Then after that will be the catcher's mask. They'll just go up there with the catcher's mask.
Why wouldn't you do that? You know, why wouldn't you have what he has on be proactive rather than putting it on after you get hit in the face?
Good point.
Change up, swing on and miss over the top.
That was nasty. That was a nasty at bat for Hildenberger.
You're watching Twins baseball presented by State Farm.
Getting back on the field. Coming up after the game, we'll bring you Twins Live, presented by CenturyLink, and look at the impact Brian Dozier has made in this game, offensively and defensively. He hit the big 3-run home run. He also had a double and a walk, and he made a sensational play at second base. Plus, Jose Barrios in his debut as a reliever for the Twins anyway, at 1 1/3 innings of relief. We'll look at that and get all the comments on all of that from Paul Molitor right after the game, Dickenberg.
All right, thank you. And the Tigers bringing in Izzy Alcantara, Victor Alcantara.
Alcantara just making his 6th relief appearance from the Dominican Republic. Good sinking fastball. We saw him in Detroit. He got traded to the Tigers from the Angels over the winter. Cameron Maben was traded over to the Angels to get this right-hander.
One strike to Chris Jimenez. He's had a good night at the plate. 2 walks, a single, 2 runs scored. Swing and a miss, and it's 0-2.
You see the good sinking fastball there. That man just 24 years old. Fastball, slider, changeup.
$34,580 the paid attendance tonight.
Yeah, nice crowd.
To go over 2 million on the season. 1 down.
3 good sinking fastballs. Jimenez a strikeout victim. Fastballs in the mid-90s and sink at the end.
That's a nice combo. Adrianza's doubled and singled tonight. And Belisle getting loose in the Twins bullpen. It's a save situation right now with a 3-run lead. Sounded like he cracked his bat. Navarro to the bag, 2 down. 2018 season tickets are on sale right now. You can choose from the full season, partial season, or the ever popular flex plan. Don't miss an inning of postseason play and experience exclusive sweet spot benefits like 10% off food and beverage here at Target Field. For more information or to place a deposit, visit twinsbaseball.com/season tickets. Here's Matt Belisle getting loose. Hoping to pick up save number 9. Brian Dozier with a couple of extra base hits, including the game-changing 3-run home run in the 2nd inning.
I think, Dick, like Marnie said, not only the double to start off the ball game, the 3-run home run, but the defensive play he made in the 2nd inning turned a 3-1 ball game. Could have been 5-1. There were a couple runners in scoring position. Runners at first and third. Second and third. Second and third.
Yep. 3-0 to Dozier. Escobar on deck. And a 4-pitch walk putting him aboard. You know, you have a game like this and you think, boy, it's the type of game you might have with one team looking forward to the playoffs, the other team
looking
playing
forward
on
to
this
going
break.
home.
Well, exactly. But you know what? And sad in a way. There's a pitch sequence to Dozier and miss inside. We had World Series games like this last year, where the starter was taken out, in the 3rd or 4th inning, and then it was a matchup of assorted relievers pitching the rest of the game. That was in the World Series last year. Inside ball 1.
Escobar goes down. I think, again, we talked about it, Dick. Clubs now, they work from the bullpen back nowadays. They don't look for, sometimes, it's hard to find some quality starters out on that free market.
No.
So what kind of arms do you have in that bullpen that can make us better?
Fouled away.
Gene Glenn.
Right now, as we speak, as I'm speaking, there are 5 pitchers in the American League that have thrown 200 innings. 5. The Twins have 1 of them. Irvin Santana with 211 in the 3rd innings might find himself 2nd in the league in innings pitched. 2nd.
Chris Sale.
Chris Sale's got him by 3 innings. And Verlander's 5 behind him. Purcello's 8 behind him. 2-1. poke to left, and Romine makes the play. And the inning ends. Matt Belisle will try to pin this game down and pick up his 9th save.
You know, Kirby Puckett had that smile that everybody loved. Brian Dozier, I think we showed a couple, 2, 3 of that big old smile of Brian Dozier.
Yeah, Brian's got better hair than Kirby had. Matt Belisle coming in to try to pick up the save.
Yeah, Matt looking for his 9th save and 14 save opportunities. Opponent's hitting just 212, or excuse me, 221 off of Matt Belisle. Actually, righties have had better success than lefties.
First pitch over for a strike.
And Matt is a strike thrower.
Maybe we shouldn't be surprised that Belisle's handled this all fairly well. I know in talking to some of the coaches in spring training this year, they said, look, if there's any situation with Brandon Kintzler, they felt comfortable, this was back in March, with Belisle closing games. In other words, if Brandon had some health issues or was struggling for some reason, even back then the Twins felt with his experience he'd be capable of doing what he has done, one down.
He's never been a guy that got a lot of save opportunities. Kind of a starter when he first came up with the Reds, but put it in that bullpen.
I'll do the Twin starter. You do the other guy. Aaron Slager's going for the Twins. There you go. Twins saw Farmer last Sunday. And see him tomorrow night. One down.
Now, Matt has an assortment of pitches. He's a closer, not going to blow you away with a high fastball. He just has to hit his spots.
Outside ball one.
He has some postseason experience that came with the Phillies, or excuse me, the Rockies back in 2009.
Want to know to Kintzler. Two and 0. Fouled away. 2-1.
Matt, 36 years old, came up with the Reds back in 2003. This is his 18th season in professional baseball. Well, in spring training, he worked with Eddie Guardado, Rick Aguilera on that split finger. Good location of that fastball.
That was 89. We've seen 90, 91, but that's about the top end for Belial.
But a perfect pitch. Look at that.
2-2.
There's Eddie Guardado. Over to your left, sitting next to Buddy Boshears. Good slider, little cutter at 85. And Belial strikes out Kinsler.
Kinsler 1 for 5, 1 for 4 on the night. And Presley with 2 down will bat next. Twins looking for win number 84. Tigers hoping to avoid loss number 97. 71 miles per hour. Ball 1 to Alex Presley. The Rockies beat the Dodgers and the Brewers beat the Cardinals. Rockies' magic number now is 1. Cleveland picked up its 101st win. The Dodgers are stuck at 102. Dodgers have the tiebreaker, by the way, over the Indians. They took 2 out of 3 against Cleveland early.
I like how you said that. They're stuck on 102 wins.
A strike and it's 2-1. Fouled away. If the Twins get the win here tonight, it will clinch a season series win over Detroit. The Twins will have won the season series against the White Sox, Tigers, Royals. Only the Indians have beaten the Twins in the season series.
Twins with this victory will go 40-34 in the Central Division.
2-2 to Alex Presley. Got him on a half swing. Belial gets the save, and the Twins have win number 84.
Well, the scoring basically came early in the first 2 innings, and you know, the Twins scored 4 in the second and made it hold up. Good job by the bullpen.
Tom Hanneman, the Twins stitched this game together with a short start from Kyle Gibson. Barrios made a relief appearance, and yeah, as Bert said, the bullpen did a really nice job here tonight.
Dick, make it 6 straight wins for the Twins over the Tigers, who suffer their 50th loss on the road this season. Up next on Twins Live, presented by CenturyLink. Brian Dozier did it all tonight. We'll talk more about Barrios from the bullpen.